Hello, so thank you for tuning in. It's been a while since I made a video, and I always have the intention to make more videos and I don't. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to make more, but I would really like to. And this is going to be the first, I hope, of a new start, really. A new start where I make more videos, more content. I've got lots of things I want to say. I've literally got a notebook full of ideas of things I want to talk about, from well-being to travel to looking after your mental health and chasing joy and finding happiness and getting out in the world. So I sometimes wait until the perfect moment to make a video. If there's background noise, that's my dog. She's just come and settled down. I kind of wait for the perfect moment. And today, you know, my hair's looking okay, and I put a bit of lippy and mascara on and everything, but I may make videos where I'm just in my pajamas with messy hair, and that's okay too, and I'm going to be okay with that. What you will get from me is authenticity. I'm a bit of an oversharer anyway, but I will talk about anything that's going on with me. I will talk about my own mental health. I'll talk about my own pursuit of chasing joy and living a fulfilling life. And so today I'm just going to talk a little bit about where I'm at, what's been going on with me lately, what's happening with my writing, because people have asked me quite frequently about that. And then I'm going to talk a bit about my knee, because I've had a knee problem, and it's kind of, without wishing to sound too dramatic, it's kind of been life-changing in a short period of time. It will get better, but the time since I injured my knee to now has altered my days and my weeks, and it's given me a bit of an epiphany about life. So we're going to get deep about that. So if you've never watched one of my videos before, you don't know me personally, or you don't follow me on social media, I am Sarah. I'm currently 44 years old. I live in Northamptonshire. I live in a house with a nice view. You can see a nice view here. Sometimes I can see cows in that field. I see wildlife most days, deer, pheasants, hares. I used to live in Milton Keynes, which is quite a busy place, was getting busier and busier by the month, it felt. So moved to the countryside. The room I'm in now, I've done a tour of before. It's very different actually since I did the tour, so maybe I'll do another one. But there's a tour on my YouTube channel. I called it my spiritual room. It's kind of like a snug. I've got books and crystals, and basically it's a spare room in my house, and I'm very privileged to call it my own and make it my own. So it's a lovely little spot with a nice view where I can sit and read or write in my journal or whatever I feel like. So yes, I'm going to talk about chasing joy, having more fun, because I think a lot of people are very busy on the hamster wheel of life, and very busy taking care of their job and their kids and their family and just getting on. And between all the cleaning and the working and the doing things for other people, there we go, thought we might make an appearance. Between all of that, they don't make a lot of time for themselves to take care of their own well-being, to have fun, to do what they want to do, whether that's hobbies, days out, travel, spending time with people they love, fussing their cat. So I really want to talk about some of those things, and I hope to chase more joy, to try and live my best life, and to encourage and inspire others to do the same. I also love books, so I've written 7 novels, but I read at least 2 books a month. I mostly read romance, but I've recently got into romantasy, so I'm reading, I've read Fourth Wing, and I'm reading that series. I've also sometimes read thrillers and stuff, so I might occasionally talk about books. I certainly post about them on my Instagram. I'm definitely going to talk about travel and days out. So I've done that in the past. I do that a lot on my blog. So if you're interested in any of my travels, my husband and I like all sorts of travel. So we've done city breaks, we do road trips, we've done cruises, all sorts. Big fan of P&O cruises, so I expect there'll be a few videos coming up about them and tips and things like that. We thought we wouldn't be cruise people, and it turns out we are. I also will probably talk, well, not probably, I'm planning to talk about my spiritual path. So it could be about paganism and witchcraft. Since I last made a video, I've been attuned with Reiki. So I did Reiki level 1 and Reiki level 2. And I'm into everything really, from energy and connection to nature, crystals, the moon, aromatherapy, all sorts of things. So I will talk about that too. So feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my website, come and follow me on Instagram. That's the only social media channel that I'm currently really using. And yeah, I'm going to share these things, and if you see something of interest, then great, and if not, scroll on by and wait for the next thing. So yeah, so a bit of an update on me then. I've got notes in front of me, that's why I keep looking down. It's been a while since I made a video and I wasn't sure I'd remember everything I want to say. So I've been asked a lot about my writing, so thank you first of all to everyone who's ever bought one of my books, left a review, asked me about it, taken an interest, posted about it on social media, particularly Finding Marianne, which came out last year. I am very, very grateful for all the lovely comments and the fact that people are interested in my writing. It's wonderful. However, writing a book takes a lot of effort. Now, I love writing books, particularly romance. Not that I've written any books that aren't romance, but I love writing books. I love weaving a story and creating that world. But it's a lot of work, right? Most of my books are around 80,000 words, which isn't hugely long in the grand scheme of novel writing, but they take a lot of work to write them and then tweak them and then get them into a position where I feel it's worthy of sharing with the world. Then we go through the editing process, and I used to be with a publisher, but I'm independent now, and so I paid for a publisher, sorry, not a publisher, an editor. And then you've got to create the cover and do all the marketing and work to find a team of people who are going to read it for you and write reviews, and all of this stuff is a lot of work. And what I find is I am not selling very many books. So I have sold many books in the past, and I'm talking like, you know, getting on for 50,000 books over the course of the 10 years I've been doing this, which for an independent author isn't bad going, and I'm very grateful for that. But last year I didn't sell loads of books. Finding Marianne barely sort of broke even on the money I'd spent, and certainly didn't you know, produce enough money to pay me for the time I'd spent. And hello Jasper. And I don't do it for the money, to be clear. I run another business. I'm a business owner. We're doing very well. We've got a lovely team of people working with us, and it's great. So I'm not doing it for the money, but I do find it a little bit soul destroying to put all that effort in and then not sell very many copies. So because of that, it kind of takes a lot of the joy out. So I'm still going to write. I mean, I write a lot on my blog anyway, so I will continue to write on my blog, and I'll write other sort of random pieces of stuff for myself. And I may still write some fiction, but at this point in time, I'm not feeling like it's calling to me. And I think if I do write it in the future, it won't necessarily be published in the normal way. I may share a PDF on my website, and for a small donation to charity, you can read my book, but it will be unedited. Or maybe I'll just give it away for free, but it will be unedited. I think all the marketing work and editing work and everything, I feel like it's a lot of work for at the moment, not much reward. I may change my mind, but that's how I'm feeling at the moment. So if you were wondering, that's it. And I'm sorry if you were looking forward to another book, but not planning to produce anything else at the moment, certainly not this year. What else has been going on with me? So in December, so it's March 2025 at the moment. In December, I went on a Caribbean cruise. It was a wonderful experience. I've written a blog about that, so you can go and check it out and see the photos if you're interested. I have been working a lot on my own well-being and my own health, and really thinking about chasing joy. So that brings me on to talk about my knee. So literally today, 4 weeks ago today, I was walking with my husband and my dog at a country park around a body of water. And another dog, which wasn't on lead, came up and was trying to play with my dog. My dog was on a lead. We always keep her on a lead because she's a little bit nervous of other dogs. My cat's a bit of an attention seeker today. Well, not today, always. Hello, can we stop with the meowing, do you think? Just for now though, I like your meowing mostly, just to be clear. Yeah, we were walking along. This dog was trying to play with my dog Arwen, and I find that frustrating, to be honest. If you have a dog and you've got it off lead and you approach another dog owner with their dog on lead, then put your dog on a lead. It's polite, it's etiquette. Maybe their dog's on a lead for a reason. Doesn't matter how friendly your dog is. Maybe I don't want your dog jumping around all over my dog or getting under my feet. So this dog kind of bashed into my leg, kind of at the side but at the back, and it just sort of caught me off guard, and I fell down. I went over on my right ankle, and I fell sort of to my side and realised that my right knee had dislocated. So my kneecap was in the wrong place at the side. Now, I have a bit of laxity in my kneecaps, so sometimes they slide out, but they slide back into position. It's incredibly painful when that happens, but it's within a few hours, it's much better. This time it hadn't slid back into position. I could see it at the right side of my leg. It was incredible amount of pain. I've never had anything like it. It's incredibly painful, as I'm sure anyone who's ever dislocated anything would know. It's awful. I could barely get up. Well, I couldn't walk. I couldn't get up. I was in agony. But I'd read something before, because I have this movement in my kneecaps and I've been worried that this may happen. I'd Googled it, and I knew that if I could get my legs straight, it would probably move back in. So despite the pain and agony, managed to get my legs straight and it moved back into position. So it's probably only dislocated for less than a minute, maybe 30 seconds. It felt like a long time, but it wasn't very long. Anyway, cut a long story short, my husband went and got the car. We were half a mile from the car, so he went and got the car, managed to find a lay-by nearby. I managed to hobble by leaning on him to the car in a lot of pain. I couldn't put weight on my leg. Got home, put ice on it and so on. It's 4 weeks later and I'm still struggling with my knee. So I've had x-rays, there's no fracture, but it shows that there is some sort of damage a bit to the, well, not damage as such, but my knee was swollen at the time of the x-ray, and it shows that there's like an area around your knee that mine is very shallow. So I've seen an orthopedic specialist, and I'm going to have physio and so on, and hopefully my leg will get stronger. I won't need surgery. It's not been ruled out completely, but hopefully I won't need surgery. In the meantime, I have realised that I was taking my capable body for complete granted. Now, let me prefix all of this by saying there are people out there who have got awful diseases, who have got chronic conditions, who have got disabilities, who are much, much worse off than me. And so I first of all, kudos to those people, because I've got a little bit of a tiny weeny idea of what it's like now. But it has been really hard for me to go from living my life normally with the normal freedom that I have, and I basically feel like I've lost my independence. So the pain and the discomfort has been nearly constant. It's slowly getting better, but 4 weeks later, I'm still struggling. Hello, come on then. And he's such a cheeky boy. Come on then. He's trying to get my attention. Let's just hold him for a minute. So basically, I still can't walk up and down stairs properly. I have to do one step at a time, which means I can't carry anything up and down the stairs. I can't really do anything where I'm on my feet for more than about 10 minutes before I start getting very bad pain. I am uncomfortable in bed, so I'm not sleeping very well. I've been using a walking stick. I can't drive, it's my right knee. I have got an automatic car, but it's my right knee, so I just can't drive still 4 weeks later. So I've lost my independence to go out and about on my own. I've not really been able to cook. I can't do laundry, anything that involves carrying anything, because I have to use a stick really to get around. I have to be very careful not to squat. They made it very clear to me, don't squat. So I just feel I've lost my independence, really. I'm very lucky my husband has been taking care of me like a real trooper. So he's trying to do his day job and keep, you know, the house clean and the pets looked after and the dogs walked and this little man fed and brushed. And I can do bits and pieces and I can do stuff sitting down, but yeah, it's been really hard. And I love walking, I love being outdoors, I like days out. I was supposed to go to Paris. There's no way I could manage Paris because there's lots of cobbled streets and uneven pavements and plenty of walking on that sort of trip. So that had to be cancelled. But and a few days I felt really down. I felt really fed up. I felt like it's never going to get better. I felt like what I was doing was I was focusing on all the things that I can't do. I was focusing on the fact that I can't drive and that I can't get out and see friends easily and that I can't do a lot without my husband's help and that I can't stand in the kitchen for an hour and bake a cake, or that I can't plan a lovely day out. And I was feeling a bit sorry for myself. And I know there are lots of people worse off than me, but when you're going through it, it's hard to sometimes remember that. And I was comparing my month to how I thought it would be to how it has been. But a few days ago, I thought, you know what? I mean, don't get me wrong, I haven't been super depressed. I've mostly been fairly positive, but I've had a few moments where I've really sort of felt sorry for myself and frustrated. So I decided to turn it around, and instead of thinking about what I can't do, I've decided to focus on what I can do. So what I can do is I can sit here and make some videos, which is something I've been meaning to do for ages. I can write more blogs. I can do arts and crafts, which again, something I've been meaning to do for a while. I've got lots of arts and crafty things and I never get around to doing it because life's busy, right? I can get organised and plan future trips and days out, and I can sit down and chop vegetables to help contribute towards the dinner. I can sit on the bench and direct my husband in the garden because I love gardening and I haven't been able to do that. But I did yesterday sit in the garden, and we went to the garden centre. I hobbled around. It was a bit painful, but I hobbled around. We bought some plants, and then I directed him and gave him sort of some instructions about what was weeds to pull up and where to plant my new plants. And so I'm trying to focus on what I can do instead of what I can't. But I'm also want to take from this the philosophy that life can change in a moment. Okay, I was just walking along, planning to go to Paris a few days later, about a week later, planning to get out and about and enjoy spring, and that's kind of been taken away from me. I've lost my independence and freedom, and I've had to really focus on healing. For the first few weeks, I was in a brace, actually 3 weeks. I was in a brace and I could barely move my leg and I had to just rest. So I think I was taking for granted my able body. I was taking for granted my freedom and independence. And so I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm going to focus on getting better, getting fitter, and taking care of my health better so that I get to the point where my knee is better. If I have to have surgery, then I'll have to have surgery. But yeah, it's just been a bit of an eye-opener. So I'm feeling inspired now to, first of all, get my knee well again and get fit and healed. And however long that takes, it will take. I'm not going to rush it and potentially damage myself more, but that's the plan. And I'm going to get back to trying to live my best life. So I used to make content several years ago all about living your best life. And by living your best life, I don't mean constant fun, constant doing everything you can to the maximum, constantly trying to overachieve or chase perfectionism. I don't mean that at all. What I do mean is getting off that hamster wheel, like I said earlier, where you're constantly either cleaning, working, taking care of others, letting your life revolve around others potentially, and actually just thinking about what will bring you joy, what will bring you fulfillment. And maybe some days that is putting a big blanket over yourself and watching TV and chomping on biscuits. Other days, maybe it's flying on a plane somewhere, or maybe it's enjoying some arts and crafts, or reading a really good book, or maybe it's going for a day out. I love a day out. I like going to castles and historical buildings and National Trust places and going for a long walk in a really unusual place. And even if it means that you drive for 2 hours and you get to the seaside, I just love a day out, and I'm not able to do that right now. So it's made me rethink, because having lost the ability to do some of the things I enjoy has made me think, actually, I should have been doing them more often anyway, if that makes any sense. And I'm probably waffling now. So I'm going to share on my Instagram and on this YouTube channel and on my blog, I'm going to be sharing the fun things I'm doing to try and chase joy, whether that's hobbies, travel, days out, things that just light me up. It might be witnessing something in nature, it might be a spiritual practice, whatever it is, I'm going to share it. And I hope that by sharing that, it might inspire others to also chase joy, because the world is not a very nice place right now. It's scary. There are some narcissistic, random people out there who want to go down in history, and not necessarily for the right reasons. And I think we have to find our own pockets of joy and focus on our well-being right now. So I think that's enough waffle. I think that probably gives you an idea of where I'm at right now. If you enjoyed this video, or you've got any thoughts or comments on anything I said, or you've got ideas for things you think you'd like me to talk about in future, then please pop a comment below. Please come and follow me on Instagram. It's at I am Sarah L. Smith. Check out my website, sarahlouisesmith.com. If you want to subscribe and watch future videos, please do so. Please give this a thumbs up, because it helps other people to find my content if people have engaged. I think that's it for today. I think that's all. Let me check my notes. Did I miss anything that I was going to say? I've got this lovely journal I'm using at the moment that a friend bought me. I think that's it. It's all notes that I was journaling really for myself about chasing joy, and I've sort of talked about that, and I will continue to. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for keeping with me to the end. I'm really, really grateful, and I'm keen to get on with living my life. And at the moment that might involve sitting down a lot, but I'm going to get back there and get fitter and healthier and come along for the ride. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Namaste.